Hey, what's up? It's Angie, and I am telling you guys some stuff, and I don't know what yet. I don't know what yet. I did know, and then I went inside to get my tablet, and when I came back out, then I forgot. So that happens when you go through a doorway, it's like a portal to refresh. And when you refresh, you have the most updated information, but it's subconscious. So you have to, it has to filter in, back in again, as in, well, maybe what we were going to talk about wasn't the most important. Oh yeah, but maybe it was, because I'm reminded of it now. We were going to talk to 11. Think about this. Like, what if one of you is, who's channeling in or viewing live, while it's being recorded. Don't ask me how that works. I don't mean because I don't know. I mean because you can figure it out yourself. But anyways, context clues and whatnot. But yeah, somebody who's sitting there who remembers, like, well, this is why you went. And it's like, they're thinking it, and then it's like, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, telepathically. Somebody's got to hold the lantern here of the focus while everybody else runs around in circles and chasing their tail or eating it one bite at a time until eventually all you are is ahead. At least you're ahead. How to get ahead in life. Okay. Start from the ass. Okay, stop. I'm just being really random. Okay. I'm in a random mood. Somebody I'm connected to had some caffeine today, and I'm feeling it telepathically, energetically, rather. You need to lay off the caffeine, or whatever is a caffeinated type feeling. We were gonna channel in 11 if we can get a hold of him. Now 11 is who we're calling him 11. He is from what we call Life 11, but upon doing some reflection, have determined it's not literally Life 11, because, God, what if we just rename all the fucking numbers? It'd be so confusing for people who are probably new to it and just starting to grasp things, because they're like, wait, Life 11, what's that? Well, it's not Life 11. Life 1 has already happened. Life 2 is saved at what we would call 2.5 if we were to continue that one forward. Life 3 is this one. Hi, how you doing? Life 3 is also ship, linear with us. However, we cannot interact with them in a tangible, linear, physical way until and unless we get open contact approval. That comes from higher. That comes all with criteria that have to be met, such as wars need to be over and so on and so forth. People on the ship are very antsy. They are antsy in the pantsy, wanting to fuck with y'all's settings to get you to comply by ruining your lives. Hope you enjoy. Think like CEO at the Coldplay concert level, ruin your lives. That kind of stuff. Also saying, let's viral this. Let's make the algorithms pop. Let's fucking fuck with these people. Let's get them all to wake up. We'll do whatever it takes. Shake and bake, shake up to wake up. To include natural disasters, earthquakes, and fault lines that cannot sit still to cause the earthquakes and forest fires and so on and so forth. Now, what about that channeled writing? Okay. Highly inspired was going to put it in comments, but it's one of those things where if we repeat today, maybe we will do it differently tomorrow, as in today. Again, today 2.0. But yes, it's this video, Women Against the Evil One. Haven't even finished it yet. Didn't get too far before, like only a couple minutes in before realizing or getting the... Okay, so it's like you can listen to a song to get on the same frequency as the musicians. You can listen to a video to get on the same frequency as whoever, You can listen to a song to get on the same frequency of somebody else who's also listening to that song. And if they're not listening to it at the exact same time, you can still sync up as to when they're listening to it, whether it be future, past, or current, same approximate time frame. Pause the music, you might lose the channel. What's some other ones? Because this is time travel if you think about syncing up musically. When you're in that place and I am in that place, we are one. Didn't say anything about when, though. No, it does. It literally says when you are in that place and I am in that place, we are one. Namaste right here. Because we all can see that going somewhere doesn't go anywhere. So there's that. Like, gotta love the play on words, right? Well, it only works in English. Other languages have their own plays on words, but you can't use them because you don't know how to translate them properly, like contextually, like the way you would use it if you were a native speaker. So there's that. But it doesn't matter, does it? Because check this out. Watch first, comments will follow, which was the intention. But don't skip non-English, which is in the beginning. Listen for tone in any speaker to see if energy matches translation. Speaking as Angie, when I was married to Jose, went out to California to visit his family, met them for the first time, whatever. They all fluent in Spanish. I didn't know Spanish. Jose never wanted to speak Spanish. He wanted to be white. I mean, like, in some sort of way that he has two sisters, and one of them is the exact same way. And the other one embraces the culture, if you will, Well, anyways, so they would talk shit about me right in front of my face in Spanish. And though I might not know it, it's like, you can tell vibes. I'm not stupid. I'm intuitive. Also, you can tell, like, they'll look at you, like, they'll be like, dun, 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 and like, okay, what did they say? Oh, nothing. They were talking about something else. Yeah, okay, sure. I'm really that dumb to think that, right? And other things like that. Well, notice the almost misspeak was the word life, and then he changed it to third world. And I was thinking, third world country? No. Third World War? Yes. Think Man in the High Castle. World War I. Didn't work. Do it again. World War II. Didn't work. Do it again. World War III. Probably won't work. Do it again. Angie doesn't want to do it again in such a big way that we're averting it before it even happens, saying it ain't going to work, so let's fucking not even go there and have all the soul scars. Let's intervene. Let's fucking figure this out in a different kind of way. As in, let's not and say we did, or rather, let's not and say we didn't. Let's use it before we lose it. Okay, so through meditation they fought, not with weapons. You laughed at your own people, so they left you. Now here's some typos. They jumped to a new timelines. Oh, really? So they were going to jump to a new timeline, but they got scattered because they didn't know. They knew what they were doing, but they didn't know what they were doing. So they're scattered. And we're trying to converge all the variants into one. Master, and so too are they, as in the elites. Using CERN and using their systems. Paul. What's up, son? So they're trying to converge it to the lowest common denominator, and we're trying to spiral y'all upwards. There's a separation of church and state happening, and the shit is rising to the top. So we're trying to wipe off the chum or whatever, We're trying to separate the boys from the men. And yet, this one boy still keeps effing around, trying to find out. You know what I mean? Like, he keeps trying to be relevant. Okay, well, we'll work with it, but we're lumping you in. You got to figure out your own way, Like, yeah, I'll throw you some bones and help you because I'm your guide and you're asking, but for the most part, like, honestly, make it happen. Don't be known as the scapegoat, fall guy, lowest common denominator, little engine that could but never did and got left behind and all at the expense of Angie. They're all gonna laugh at you. What's your trash day? Is it Thursday? That's a guess. And I'm guessing it is because reasons. All this is guesses. How much of it is accurate, though? If, you know what they say, this has been said before. So in order to be considered an accurate psychic, you need to be right, I think it was like 80% of the time or something like that. Or 88% of the time. Something, 80-something% of the time. You have to be accurate, or you have to be correct in order to be considered an accurate psychic. Angie always was like, that's not good enough. I want to be 100% accurate. Like, I don't ever want to say anything that isn't accurate. Because if, let's just say 20% of what I say isn't accurate, then you don't know which 20% is and what isn't. So she really hates this lies for alignment type shit. Although, maybe some lies for alignment are necessary for the greater good. That's understood. But when it's stupid lies, it's like, this is petty. This is dumb. In fact, sometimes they can make things worse. On higher, they're like, needed to be. To show you something or something. It's so meticulous that the mistakes are intentional that you don't even know. I'm telling Angie that. Like, you don't even know. Okay, maybe one day. Maybe we'll just keep moving though, you know? Okay, they left you, they jumped to a new timelines. Traitors, all of you. You abandoned your elders, you abandoned your ways. We laugh at you now from beyond the wall. Like a two-way mirror is what I was about to say. You can't see us, but we see you. See you soon. Ask the Navajo if this is true. How long has Angie been saying see you soon? C with the SEA, you know, emoji. U, EWE. S, 2 eyes, N. Go back to sleep. Even if they may not know the cure, but Angie does. Paul told her 10 years ago. Angie 10 years ago channeled grandmother energy, native energy, who basically told y'all off. It's around. She was like, whoa, that was some strong energy that came through. She knows how to remove the curse done at 4 corners. Hint, 4 corners is not the actual 4 corners. Now, symbolically, can you meet at 4 corners and do it? Sure. But that's not the actual location. Just so you know, there's 2 4 corners. One of them is the symbolic one and one of them is the literal one. 4 tribes united to bring this upon you. Probably more than 4. It's one of those things where it's like anybody who can hear us telepathically, think of this like a clover. You can help with this, but do you want to? Because now here you got to understand, now we're undoing it. So don't help. But was it meant to be all along? It needed to be. So it's like, sure, I'll help you, but then I'm going to help you undo it too. Because we couldn't be where we are now without it having been done. So thanks, I guess. But how many had to get lost? How many had to die in order to get it to be where we are? It's unfortunate, but that's just the way Crumble's cookie makes their cookies. Some people don't like them because they're too crumbly. It's like, it's in the name. Okay. You will never prosper. You will join Allah's war. Now, let me tell you something about how this works, a little insider information. That was a typo. We kept it. We're like, damn, that's good. Because what were we trying to say? Probably man's war or something, or their war, you know, something. I don't even remember what it was intended to be, but it says Allah's war. Wow, how many of you guys in the military have fought in Allah's war? Allah being symbolic for Middle East conflict. You know, it's not literal, it's symbolic, name-wise. It's not meant to be derogatory toward the Muslim faith. It is meant to be. Is Muslim faith or is it Islamic faith? I get those two fucked up sometimes, sorry. I'm not trying to be ignorant. I just fuck shit up a lot culturally. Okay, you will forever fight. This is the curse, you know, you will forever fight. Not over money or property or people, but over what it represents. Because yes, you will fight over money, property, and people. But it's indirect what's under that. What it represents. Energetics of mine. 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 Give it to me. You know? All people of all lands who do not hear this cry. Typo. Well, think about it. Hear this cry. Hear. Namaste. Hear. Will remain behind you. So it was kind of like an ongoing sentence here, a run-on sentence. Who do not hear this cry will remain behind you. Weep, you will be released only once the curse is removed. Huh? But you get it. One who is an outsider will bring this message and you will not believe. This is your curse as well. That is because this has been channeled in by somebody who is an outsider, and it was not given the proper amount of respect or whatever, because it came from an outsider. They said, I channeled this in. I think it's like you got to understand, like, I was really, like, I'm convicted. Like, this is for real. And it was taken as like I believe it, but what are we going to do about that? Or it's something, it's hard to put my finger on the energetics of the telepathic, or rather the, you know what I mean, the mental chatter, because there's layers to it. I will say there's a faint layer of, I don't believe this is bullshit. It's made up. It's a trick kind of vibe, right? Very faint though, because the next one is, no, I believe it's true for sure, or at least plausible, but nothing I can do about it. Who am I? I'm just a fucking native elder, you know? What am I gonna do? Well, duh. That's the fucking problem to begin with. Your ancestors jumped and left you here to hold the bag, and they feel bad about it now because they didn't want it to be like this. They wanted to teach you guys a lesson and then be like, okay, you learned your lesson. You're not, how long am I grounded for? Until I say so. No. Until you learn your lesson. Did you learn your lesson? No? Well, then go back to timeout. Did you clean your room yet? No? Well, then you're not going to a sleepover. But do your chores and you get rewards in the form of privileges. Your fun time is not a right, it is a privilege. You must earn your privileges. That's how it's done on this ship. Now, didn't used to be. We had to change that because people were just too excited about going off and doing fun things, but their human self wasn't retaining it or remembering it. And so their human self is getting worse and worse and worse, more miserable, while their astral self is going off gallivanting around the universe, having all sorts of fun. But then we realize there's variance, there's multiple lives consecutively being lived. Well, that's a problem. When they're all depressed, when they're all in discord. Instead, you have fallen and lost your ways of the ancients and created this problem yourself. No one to blame but your own soul. Repeat and repeat again until you get it right, which we'll have to do another fourth one. And Angie's been guaranteed that she won't, but you know that's not true. You know that's not true. At least benefit of the doubt, that one, right, Angie? Who caused the fires in Canada? We did, from this side. We were trying to speak to you about your family's extended warranty, but you do not listen to the trees that are burning. Oh, please. You yearn to create more children and have nowhere for them to live. What a multiple leveled message that one is. You do not name them according to their wishes, also multiple messaged. You force them to label themselves to make your fragile self comfortable. Are we talking about dead naming? Are we talking about gender? To stay asleep. You muddy the water with the blood of the children. The children cry out at night in hunger pangs, terrorized. You make them sleep alone and chastise them for getting scared of monsters in the dark. But the adults sleep together. So think about the message you're sending to your kids. But mom and dad, you guys sleep together. Why do I got to sleep alone in my room? It's scary in there. Because they're sensitive to energy and they do perceive the shadow people. They do perceive the ancestors who haunt them because they're trying to get their attention because they know they can listen, and they don't have respect for boundaries of the children, as if to say, because they're thinking, well, your future's fucked. So you're better off with us giving you nightmares and making your parents have to wake up in the middle of the night and be tired the next day and all the fucking disturbances and annoyances and all the things. Because otherwise, you're not going to like your nuclear future. That's still on track as a false flag. Because let me tell you this, even if they don't do the actual nuke because Elon averted that, well, that's great and all. They still have the whole propaganda part of it that they're going to do. So your weather won't change, and that should tip you guys off. You know, watch the weather change, and it won't. As in, it won't. You won't have any indication of anything different. Don't you think if a nuke went off that we would fucking, like, know? Like, as in, we would know. So, you know, they're going to run this shit. It's going to go viral. Then they're going to shut the power down as a... It's because everybody's going to go, oh, it's because of that. Nobody will bat an eye. 2 weeks later, the flyers, you know, what is it? Letters from the Sky, but I'm trying to, I don't know, you know, Civil Twilight song. And people are going to go. And so far we have not averted it. And therefore, redo. With memory wipe from the beginning of your life. What year were you born? Because we can only go back to the 80s. That means everything up until the 80s is set in stone no matter what. So we can change Angie's life because she was born in 82. We could put her in a whole different container entirely. We can make her mom have gotten an abortion. And like she was considering doing. I don't know if we said this blatantly, but Angie's mom actually stayed with her dad in one of the variant parallels. And Angie, that's why Angie joined the Air Force, is because she grew up with an entirely different set of circumstances in a life that wasn't all fucked up. That her dad didn't have an issue of pedophilia due to his own childhood with the Catholic Church. You know who else had that problem? I'm not going to name drop, but since Angie knows several of the people by these names, or this name, Gabby's husband. Now, again, since nobody knows who this is, when she was taken advantage of in a very brutal way, let me just say, I don't really give a fuck, because she has the audacity to, like, say, screw you, Angie. Then I'm going to say, I'm on a soul level going to say, I have the audacity, you don't even exist, post this shit. So hey, guess what? And I just looked at the word post right when I said post. That department. So hear me out when I say that, and the alarm's going to go off soon in order to get Cameron, so, you know, we're going to cut it at 30. But listen, this is really pivotal. She went on a date that went bad. Okay. He basically said, they were like, it was a good date. They had good vibes, chemistry, whatever. But this guy was a fucking fuckhead. So he says, hey, let's go walk around on the trail in the woods or whatever. They were like at a park or something. She's like, okay. So they go, and he starts, you know, getting handsy with her. And she's like, no, I don't want to, or, you know, something like that. He's like, bet. Takes a knife, jabs it in her thigh to hold her in place, and anally rapes her. So she tells him, as in her husband at the time, and says, this happened to me. And he victim blamed and shamed and said, well, what were you wearing? You know, what did you do to deserve that? Like, as in, you know, like, did you know, that should never be the response to something like that. Nobody ever deserves something like that. A permanent scar that you see for life that reminds you of that traumatic event. And then you wonder why this person has a substance abuse problem. You wonder why this person, see, that didn't happen in the first life. And Angie and her were very good friends. And so what happened this life? Stupidity. Hard-headedness. So I'm not going to finish reading this, but I do want to ask 11, are you around? Really quick. We got like 3 minutes. It's going to copyright.
234 and 1000.
Yeah, you around, dude? Did you hear all that? Are you integrated with a headset? We got 3 minutes left. Or rather, well, yeah, they're probably, I'm gonna text her real quick and be like, are you guys, where's her number at? Life. Got anything to say? Hey, did Angie talk to you last night? Let me explain to you guys really quickly. Angie goes to sleep here and unplugs in life 11, which is like either life 6 or 7 linearly, or not even linearly, but in the order of which we have defined them. Hi, baby kitty. What you doing? Meow meow. So she unplugs there. She's on the drip, is what they call it, so that she can be very immersed. Her partner is not on the drip, but we suspect that he goes to sleep there like normal. So too does Angie. So she's in this medicinal induced suppressed, she said bus. All right, good. So when they walk out, we'll all right. But anyways, yeah, suppressed so that she could stay deep. So she's very deep, so too deep that she can't really switch. We've tried unsuccessfully. There was only that one time she was really fucked up to be able to do it that one time. She hates throwing up. She definitely threw up because she ate an entire bag of white cheddar popcorn and was like, bleh. But it was one of those throw ups that was like, I actually look forward to this one because I wouldn't normally eat an entire bag of white cheddar popcorn, like a fucking regular ass bag, not a little one, you know. Hey, want to be the star of the show today, huh? You missed us? Yeah. Even though I yelled at you before we left, sorry, didn't mean to do that. You were holding up progress. Well, maybe not. Maybe we should have waited a week. Anyways, tried to switch with Stan, the man, on his birthday today. Didn't work. But we did break through the 6th wall, as we call it, a little bit. A little bit. I think that was dust. Not trying to remove the magic from life, but anyways, did you guys talk? What did she say? Not much. Wonder why. Was she pissed or did she not know? She didn't remember. How interesting. So we're figuring out how to like break through some shit, and it's like, nope, not allowed. Collective. We're being held back because of collective. Peace.